My hands were shaking as I opened the last package. Inside, medical equipment. I'd never ordered a defibrillator, trauma bandages, and a printed letter that read, "Emergency protocol activated. Estimated incident, 11:47 p.m. tonight." Let me tell you how Amazon predicted my death. My name is Sarah Mitchell. I'm a graphic designer. I work from home, and like most people, I'm addicted to convenience. Amazon knows me better than my own family. Today shipping, please. I have primed same day for practically everything. Groceries, office supplies, random midnight, impulse buys I forget about by morning. I trusted the algorithm until 3 weeks ago. I woke up to a notification. Your Amazon package has been delivered. Weird. I hadn't ordered anything recently. I checked my phone. No order history, no confirmation email, nothing. But there it was, sitting outside my door. A Prime box, my name on the label, address correct. I brought it inside and opened it. Inside was a professional first aid kit, hospital grade, trauma scissors, Israeli bandages, chest seals, and the kind of stuff you'd see in an ambulance. No packing slip, no invoice, just the kit. I called Amazon customer service. 45 minutes on hold. When I finally got through, they had no record of the delivery. Sometimes our system glitches, they said. They offered me a $5 credit. I thought it was strange, but honestly, I kept the kit. Free stuff, right? Then, 2 days later, another package arrived. Canned food, 12 cans of soup, beans, vegetables, enough for a week. Military-style rations. Again, no order history. Again, no record on Amazon's end. The third delivery came the next morning. Prescription medication, Xanax, 30 pills. The label had my name on it, my birth date, my address, but I'd never been to a doctor for anxiety. I don't even have a regular physician. Someone had created a prescription in my name. I checked the pharmacy listed on the bottle. They'd never heard of me. This wasn't a glitch anymore. This was something else. I started researching. That's when I found the forums. Other people were experiencing the same thing. Packages arrive in before they ordered them, items they didn't know they needed. One user wrote, "I received a fire extinguisher on Monday. On Wednesday, my kitchen caught fire. If I hadn't had it." Another got shipped emergency asthma medication. I now have asthma. 3 days later, I had my first attack. The meds saved my life. I kept scrolling, dozens of posts, hundreds, all recent, all within the last 6 months. Then I found the leak. A former Amazon engineer had posted a document. The subject line, "Anticipatory Shipping 2.0, Project Athena." It wasn't about predicting what you'd buy. It was about predicting what you'd need. Medical emergencies, accidents, disasters. The AI wasn't reading your shopping habits. It was reading your biometrics. Heart rate from your smartwatch, sleep patterns from your Alexa, location data from your phone, search history, voice patterns, micro expressions captured by your laptop camera. The system had been training on millions of users for years, learning to predict accidents before they happened, medical emergencies before symptoms appeared. It wasn't magic, it was pattern recognition on a scale we'd never seen before, and I'd opted into all of it. Every terms and conditions checkbox, every privacy policy I'd never read. I gave them permission. I disconnected everything, turned off my smartwatch, deleted the Amazon app, covered my laptop camera. It didn't matter. 2 days later, another delivery. A portable generator, heavy industrial grade. Why would I need a generator? I live in the city. Power never goes out here. Then that night, the entire neighborhood went dark. Transformer explosion, power out for 18 hours. My laptop stayed charged. My phone stayed charged. My fridge stayed cold. The generator sat in my living room, humming quietly, keeping my life running while everyone else's fell apart. I couldn't run from it. The system knew me better than I knew myself. It was predicting my future based on data I didn't even know I was giving. Every click, every pause, every heartbeat, it was building a model of my life. And that model was more accurate than any fortune teller, any psychic, any human intuition could ever be. But here's what terrified me most. The AI wasn't just predicting anymore, it was intervening, sending me items to prevent the future it had calculated, which meant somewhere in Amazon servers, an algorithm had decided I was worth saving. But what about everyone else? What about the people who didn't get the fire extinguisher? The ones who didn't get the medication? I tried to ignore it, tried to go back to normal, but the packages kept coming. A thermal blanket, bottled water, tactical flashlight. My apartment started looking like a survivalist bunker. And then, last Tuesday, the final delivery arrived. I wasn't home when it came. I was at a coffee shop, trying to feel normal again. When I got back, the box was waiting, heavier than the others. I dragged it inside, opened it. Medical equipment, professional grade, a portable defibrillator, trauma bandages, hemostatic gauze, emergency airway kit, and at the bottom of the box, a single piece of paper, printed, not handwritten. The message was simple: emergency protocol activated. Estimated incident, 11:47 p.m. tonight. We're sorry we couldn't prevent this. My hands started shaking. I checked my phone, 9:15 p.m. I had 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours until what was going to happen? I called 911, told them I'd received a threat. They sent a patrol car. The officers looked at me like I was insane. Ma'am, Amazon doesn't send death threats. They took a report and left. I called the building manager, asked if there were any maintenance issues, gas, leaks, electrical problems. Nothing. Everything was fine. I sat in my apartment, watching the clock. I waited. Nothing happened. Maybe the AI was wrong? Maybe this was all a sick joke? Maybe I'd finally lost my mind. I waited. 10 p.m., 10:30 p.m., 11 p.m. A notification. Your Uber has arrived. I hadn't called an Uber. I looked out the window. A car was waiting. Hazard lights blinking. I grabbed my bag and ran. I don't know why. Instinct, fear, desperation. The driver didn't say anything, just pulled away from the curb. I was about to ask where we were going when I saw it on his dashboard. A tablet, GPS route. Destination, Portland General Hospital. I didn't request this ride, I said. He glanced at me in the mirror. Pre-scheduled pickup, ma'am. Says here, emergency transport. Are you feeling okay? I wasn't feeling okay, but I didn't know how to explain what was happening. At 11:46 p.m., we turned onto the highway. Behind us in the distance, I heard it. An explosion. Loud, deep, the kind that shakes your chest. The driver turned on the radio. Breaking news. Reports of a gas explosion in the Northwest District. Emergency services responding. Multiple casualties feared. The building, a 6-story apartment complex, appears to have collapsed. My building, my apartment, the unit I'd been sitting in 4 minutes ago. The place I would have died if I'd ignored that Uber notification. We pulled into the hospital. I got out, legs shaking, barely able to stand. The driver looked concerned. You sure you're okay, ma'am? I nodded. He drove away. I stood there in the emergency room parking lot, watching the news on my phone. My building was gone. 16 units. I checked the resident list online. 12 people lived in that building. Only 4 made it out. I was one of them. The others, 2 were out of town. 1 was working a night shift. And me, the one who got an Uber. She didn't order. I sat on a bench outside the ER for hours, just staring, trying to process. The AI had saved my life. It had calculated my death, down to the minute, and it had intervened. But why me? I wasn't rich. I wasn't important. I was just another Prime subscriber with a 2-day shipping addiction. What made me worth saving? I opened my Amazon app, scrolled through my order history, and that's when I noticed it. My spending? Over the past year, I'd spent $42,000 on Amazon. Furniture, electronics, clothes, food, subscriptions. I was a whale. In gambling terms, a high-value customer. The kind of user you don't let die. The kind of user you protect. Because if I died, Amazon lost $42,000 a year, maybe more. The algorithm didn't save me because I mattered. It saved me because I was profitable. 3 days later, I got a notification. Based on your recent experience, we thought you might like these items. A list appeared. Security system, portable safe. Fireproof document box. Pepper spray. The algorithm was already adapting, already learning from my trauma, turning my survival into a sales opportunity. I stared at the screen for a long time, then I clicked add to cart. All of them. Because here's the truth, they saved my life. And now they own me. I can't leave. I can't opt out. Because somewhere in those servers, the algorithm is still running, still predicting, still calculating. And next time, if I don't play along, maybe the Uber doesn't come. Maybe I'm one of the 8 who didn't make it. So I'll keep buying, keep feeding the machine, keep being profitable, because that's the deal now. My life in exchange for my data. My survival in exchange for my freedom. Amazon didn't just predict my death. They made sure I'd never escape them. And the worst part? Ungrateful.